brother, what?
Brubaker here. Okay, send him in.
Hello, Sergeant.
Ms. Davidson, nice to see you.
This is Ione Redlin.
Nice to meet you, ma'am. Would you like to have a seat?
Thank you.
How can I help you, ladies?
We're here about Miriam Mason. I called yesterday, remember?
Yeah, that's the possible missing person, right?
You haven't done anything about it yet?
But it's been over 24 hours. Nobody knows where she is.
Ladies, I'm sorry I haven't got started on this right away. You sure she's missing? I mean, you've checked with her friends, relatives, or co-workers?
Everybody we can think of. She's been missing since day before yesterday.
You see, Mrs. Davidson told Miriam yesterday afternoon that there was a letter from her son at the house. He lives in England. Now, she's been waiting many, many months to hear from that boy. Something must have happened to her because she never even came home to pick up the letter.
It's 2 whole nights she's been gone now. I mean, that's just not like her. I don't understand it. It's not like Miriam at all.
Yeah, I'm going to see Brubaker this morning, get him working on this case. Something's wrong for sure.
Well, it's just not like her to pull a stunt like this. I mean, she doesn't even cross the street without telling you where she's going. Gee, suppose she had an accident or something, lost her purse and... Oh, no.
Something wrong?
I mean, what if she's hurt and nobody knows who she is or how to get in touch with us?
I tell you, I think I'll ask Brubaker about that too. I'm going to have him check the hospitals and everything. If something like that's happened to her, he'll find out.
Oh, I hate to think.
After I go to the police station, I got to go over to the courthouse. I got a hearing on the Delaney case, so I will not be back here till this afternoon.
This afternoon?
Well, you know how those things go.
Oh, can I go with you? You know, I could take notes or something, practice my shorthand.
Well, Babs, who'd answer the phone here?
Hey, if it's that important, they can call back.
That's no way to run a law office.
Gee, Harold, do you know how lonely it gets around here without you?
Well, now, if something happens, you just call the police.
Oh, sure. The cops wouldn't lift a finger to help me. You know how Brubaker's been.
Yeah, well, okay, I'll tell you what I'll do. I've been looking for McCormick. I think he may be over at the courthouse. I'll see if I can find him, send him over here to keep you company, okay?
Oh, Harold, would you do that?
Well, he's not much to talk to, but he plays a pretty good hand at gin.
Oh, great. You haven't heard anything more about the prince, have you?
No, I sure haven't, not a word.
Well, I put those photocopies in a safe place. That is, I thought it was safe. The only thing is, Harold, suppose I just went to see the prince without the evidence. I mean, couldn't I just tell him everything that was wrong, you know, about Ronnie and all?
Without proof? Nope, I don't think you'd get anywhere with a syndicate man like him.
The chance I gotta take.
What?
Harold, I have got to find this guy. I mean, I just feel like time is slipping through my fingers and everything's falling apart.
Babs, I don't think I understand what you're getting at.
It's nothing, Harold. Never mind.
Go on, Babs, what is it?
No, really, it's nothing. Don't worry about it.
Okay, I gotta go. But like I told you, I'll send McCormick over here if I can find him, okay?
Okay.
Are you all right?
Sure, I'm all right.
Mr. Brubaker, I want to know what you're doing to locate Miriam.
Ms. Redlin, I don't want you to worry about a thing. We're going to do everything that we can to locate her, but first I have to get some information. Miriam Mason is Charles Carpenter's daughter, isn't she?
Yes, she is, but she's been living with me since last summer.
What's the address?
78 Lincoln Avenue.
Uh-huh. Are you sure she didn't just spend the night at her father's, for instance?
I checked over there. No one was home. You
Yeah.
see, her father's in the hospital right now.
Oh, he is?
He had heart surgery. We haven't even told him that she's missing.
And that's why you're making this report.
Exactly.
What about a job? Does she work?
Oh, yes, she works. She has a part-time job down at the planning and development downtown.
Right.
She didn't come in yesterday afternoon, and she didn't even call. And she hasn't missed a day since she's been on that job.
Now, as far as you can determine, who was the last person to see her?
I saw her at the hospital. Her father's operation was just over, and I told her that she had a letter from Eric.
That's her son.
She was overjoyed. She said she had to wait at the hospital until she got a report on her father's condition. And then she was going to go right home and get the letter.
Her son lives in,
England, I told you. She hasn't heard from that boy
Right.
in over a year, and you don't know how long and hard she's prayed to hear from him.
You know, ladies, the thought has just occurred to me that Miriam Mason may have just taken off and gone to England to visit her son. If she is Charles Carpenter's daughter, the expense is not going to stop her.
Don't you see she never even came home to pick up the letter? It's still in my living room. It wasn't even open.
Not only that, her father just went through a triple bypass operation. She would never have left him, not now. She wouldn't just take off like that. There's no telling what happened to her.
Ladies, I want you to consider this last question very carefully. Is there anybody at all that you can think of that might want to harm Miriam Mason?
Oh, she's such a sweet girl. I can't think of a soul who would want to harm Miriam Mason.
Miss Davidson?
There is one person. My sister, Nancy Lawson.
You're gonna have to grow up one day, Gil.
Now, Marianne, don't get bugged. I know exactly what's bugging you.
What's bugging me is that you're not getting the job done. Now, we've got a lot of new work, but you aren't staying on top of it.
If you're talking about those measly schedules, I'll take care of them first thing today.
Yes,
okay?
I'm talking about the measly schedules and the measly payroll, not to mention the measly city requirements.
Like I said, don't worry about it.
Well, I can't help it. Now, if we don't get someone in here who can handle administrative details...
Oh, no, you don't. No way.
I want to give Russ a job. We need someone who... Look, if you can't take care of all this, you don't want to, fine. But we need someone on board who can.
I've already told you what I thought about that idea.
Forget that he's my boyfriend.
Oh.
That's the only reason you don't like him.
That's not the only reason I don't like him. I got plenty of reasons. Besides, I already hired Peter Davison to take care of all this. Okay?
That's only paperwork. And he's only part-time. Now, we need someone in here who has administrative skills. Russ has proven that he can work within a budget. He's good at cutting costs.
Yeah, that's why they canned him at the hospital, huh?
He was fired because of a personality conflict. It had nothing to do with his ability.
Yeah, well, I'd want another opinion on that before I swallow it. Besides, he'd have a definite personality conflict with someone else here, too.
It doesn't have to be that way.
No, as long as I'm not around him.
Gil,
Russ got fired at the hospital because he went around acting like a big shot and didn't know what he was doing. I don't want someone like that around here, okay?
that's funny. You know what? That describes you to a T.
I don't want to hear any more about it, understand?
He can help us out a lot around here.
I thought I made myself clear. I will not hire Russ Weaver. End of discussion.
Hey, it's getting late. You better hurry up.
Well, I'm worried about you, Babs.
Look, I'm sorry I ever brought it up. It's nothing.
Okay, well, you won't be long for long.
Get out of here, will you?
Okay.
Harold, are you sure that I wouldn't stand a chance with the prince without that evidence?
Babs, I thought you told me you put those photocopies in a safe place.
Well, I did. I mean, it was safe.
Well, then why do you bring it up again? You still got them, don't you?
Yeah, sure. Go on, go on.
Okay. See you later.
Right. Bye. Got the proof all right. I just don't know where it is, that's all. Oh, I thought Miriam's purse would be the safest place in the world to put that stuff. Whoever would have thought something like that would happen? Harold Webster's office. Ramona! Oh, Ramona, it's so good to hear from you. What's up?
Babs, look, I don't have much time, but I heard Ronnie talking to the prince, and he's staying at the King's Arms, room 214. I know it's not much.
Not much? Oh, that's terrific.
Well, I wish I knew more, but that's all I heard.
Wow. Oh, Ramona, thanks so much. How can I ever repay you?
Listen, I have to meet Ronnie. Don't forget, it's room 214. I'd better go. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. King's Arms, room 214. Oh, brother, now what do I do? I gotta risk it, even if I don't have those copies. I may not get another chance to see this guy. If I don't do it right now, I've got to. Oh, if only I knew how to pray.
Well, Sergeant Brubaker, it's about time you called me in.
Is it?
Well, you've had my jewelry for over a month now. I mean, I hope you have it now.
Well, I guess I have, pending Tab Barron's trial.
That is why you called me in, isn't it?
Well, as a matter of fact, no, it isn't.
You low down.
Miss Lawson, cool it and sit down. I called you in here because something urgent has come up.
Well, what could possibly be more urgent than me getting my jewelry back so I'd have some money to live off of?
Miriam Mason has been reported missing.
So what does that have to do with me?
Nobody has seen her within the last 48 hours.
Like I said, what does that have to do with me?
Miss Lawson, I've been checking into the people who might have a reason to do harm to Miriam Mason, and your name's at the top of the list.
Wait a minute. No, you're not going to pin this one on me. Come on, I mean, just because this crazy broad's flipped out and taken off somewhere. I mean, I warned Charles about this. The last time she did this, I was the one who tried to help her.
Oh, really? By giving her an overdose of Seconal?
What are you talking about?
Somebody tried to kill that girl in the hospital. I went over the records this morning. We couldn't prove anything, but you were the prime suspect.
She tried to kill herself. She's nuts.
Somebody had to give her those pills, and all the evidence pointed to you.
Well, have you checked all the loony bins? You know, Miriam could think she's Cleopatra or something like that. At best, she's got a very fragile grasp on reality. She used to be a drug addict, you know.
Oh, really?
Yes, really. I mean, you know, perhaps something happened. I mean, in that neighborhood where she lives, it's real easy to get drugs. You know, something could have happened with maybe a drug peddler, or perhaps she got some bad stuff, or something like that.
You have any evidence that she started taking drugs again?
Brubaker, Miriam is not a normal person. I mean, anyone can tell that by talking to her. And so it's my opinion that she never even stopped with the drugs. She's just been putting on this act so everyone would think she did.
You know, Miss Lawson, that's a very interesting hypothesis, but it doesn't fit with the facts.
And I do?
When it comes to enemies, Miriam Mason had very few except for you. She tried to stop you from marrying her father, didn't she?
I don't consider that any of your business.
Until I find out where Miriam Mason is and what happened to her, I'm afraid it is my business.
Okay, see you later.
Gil, won't you at least look at Russ's resume?
All 25 words of it?
No, it's really very impressive.
No.
Gil, don't be so close-minded.
You got your heart set on this, don't you? You know, you need your lover boy here all the time. I can just see you two. Oh, wouldn't you get a lot of work done?
Well, I resent that.
Hey, why else would you want him here?
Look at his credentials. He could help us out a lot.
Oh.
Well, won't you at least consider him?
Okay.
Here.
Makes you feel better, I'll consider him. Yeah, I've considered him. Forget it. Russ Weaver's not gonna work here. That's final.
If you're accusing me of being a criminal, I think I ought to have my lawyer present.
Miss Lawson, sit down. I didn't say you were a criminal. All I said was that I'm trying to find out where Miriam Mason is, all right?
Well, I don't think I should be talking to you without having a lawyer here. Now, I don't know where Miriam is, so, you know, I haven't seen her in a couple of days, and quite frankly, I couldn't care less if Well, I don't think I should talk to you unless I have an attorney here. I mean, who knows what kind of tricks you'd pull?
Well, if that's the way you feel, that's your prerogative.
Yeah, that's the way I feel.
Yeah. He is. Well, send him in. Fancy that.
What's so funny?
It's perfect timing. You asked for your attorney, here he is.
I hate to tell you this, Sergeant, but I wouldn't have this buffoon represent me if he paid me.
Yeah, we had a little falling out, Sergeant. What she says is true. She's no longer my client.
Well, then what I suggest, Miss Lawson, is that you get in touch with your current attorney so that you and I can continue this discussion in his or her presence at a later date.
But wait a minute. I don't even know what I'm being charged with.
You're not being charged with anything. You're just one of the few people that has motive to do Miriam Mason harm. And I suggest that you stay in Kingsley so I can get in touch with you, understand?
But what about my jewelry, Brubaker?
That's for the court to decide. Good day, Miss Lawson.
You really think that Nancy had something to do with Miriam's disappearance?
No, it's just suspicions. I haven't got any evidence.
Well, it's a possibility. You got any leads as to where Miriam might be?
No, look, I just got started on this thing this morning.
I'm worried about that girl, John. Doesn't look good.
I know.
I think I want to get my man McCormick on it. And you know him, don't you?
McCormick?
Yeah.
I suppose that we can use all the help that we can get.
Well, I figure as Charles Carpenter's attorney and Miriam's friend, that's the least I can do under the circumstances.
Well, thank you, Webster. And if you come up with anything, let me know, okay?
Yeah, sure. But look, that's not what I came over here for, though. I want to ask you something else.
Yeah?
Well, have you got any idea who this Prince might be?
No, not yet. Look at that organization is tied up tighter than a drum. Nobody's talking. They probably know that what would happen to them if they did talk.
Well, look, there's got to be something you can do, Brubaker. I feel like Babs is a sitting duck.
We can only investigate a crime after it happens. I wish it were otherwise, but we've got a lot of really important cases right now. What can I do?
Well, maybe you can offer some protection of some kind.
What, for the rest of her life? Look, let me give it to you honest and straight, Webster. The best thing Babs can do is to change her name, leave town, get a whole new start someplace else. The further away from Kingsley Babs gets, the safer she's gonna be.
Well, good morning. How are you feeling today?
Terrific. Better than I felt in a long time. Jack said the surgery went better than he expected. There's even a chance I may get out of here today.
That's what he told me, too. I saw him this morning. When Jack Egan is pleased with your progress, you know he means it. He's not the type to hold anything back.
Now for the therapy. Well, we just have to wait and see.
I know you're going to do just fine.
How's Charles Carpenter getting along?
Well, speaking in strictly medical terms, he's doing very well. Don't seem to be any complications in his recovery. The problem is he keeps asking for Miriam, and I don't know what to tell him.
No word from her at all?
Ione and I went to see Sergeant Brubaker this morning. Nothing.
Yeah, let me guess. There's nothing he could do about it right now, right?
Well, he couldn't start an investigation until she's been missing 24 hours.
If the madman who attacked Lori got to Miriam, Lord help us all. I warned Brubaker. I warned him this could happen if he didn't get that guy off the streets.
Ben, please, try not to think the worst.
Well, how can I help it? You know, Terry, Lori and I are going to celebrate our first wedding anniversary next week. 1 year ago. My God, so much has happened.
Yes, it has.
I just want her to be well enough to come home for our anniversary. I want to celebrate that day with her in our own home, with you and Peter there, and we're all together as a family.
Wouldn't that be wonderful? You know, I keep praying for the time when the past is gone and we can look forward to the future. When everything's back to normal again, and you can finally open the clinic in Chesterfield.
Yeah, the clinic.
Just think, everything's ready.
I don't know, Terry. So much has happened. I mean, when I first thought about opening that clinic, I was going to do such great things.
Ben, you still can.
It just seems so long ago. It's hard now to imagine that the dream can ever become a reality. I just don't know anymore, Terry.
Don't give up now. You're too close.
But it feels farther away than ever. It was a dream, Terry. Idealistic dream.
That dream can become a reality someday, Ben. Someday soon. And Lori is going to come home too. Soon. You'll see.
Here goes nothing. I used to know this place like the back of my hand. $214. No guts, no glory. Oh, great, nobody home. Harold Webster?